welcome back to Memories of a Musician. I'm your host, Vito DeSalvo. Once again, we have a great program for you this evening, featuring a former student of mine, Bryan Senatore. Bryan is an exceptional musician. I had him in my music technology class for a couple of years. And eventually, Bryan, after high school, moved to LA. He's going to tell us about this when we bring him onto the program in a bit. But interestingly, and I don't remember the year, but it was several years ago, many years ago, actually, we received a phone call through our business, Mifflin Hills Music, and my wife fielded the call, and this person on the other end said, "I'm looking for Vito DeSalvo, who was a music teacher in West Mifflin schools." And she said, "He's here." So I get on the phone, and on the other end is Bryan Senatore. And he says, Mr. DeSalvo, this is Bryan Senatore. I don't know if you remember me." I said, "Yeah, I remember you, Bryan." He said, I just called to thank you for, your music technology class and everything I learned, because I just signed a record deal today in Los Angeles. And if I wouldn't have taken your classes, I wouldn't, know what I know. I don't know. Anyhow, he was kind of happy about all of that. So, and it was wonderful to hear from him, and nice that he, was able to continue his music endeavors. So, talented young fellow, and he's not as young as he used to be, neither am I, but that's what happens in life, I put together a little opening montage, and mostly of a video of one of his original songs that I really like. It's called Anyway. And there's some other pictures in this that are kind of displayed through. And once I play this montage, then we're gonna take a listen to his bio, and then we'll bring him on. Here we go.
I walk a young man's shoes, trying hard as a boy not to be confused, but it's so damn hard to do as we live to face another day. Wings I had, they flew off my feet at the chance that we missed to be indiscreet, and there's nothing in this world right now to rid me of this trouble of mine. Gonna take my time. With bad people, there's nothing there. It's okay just as long as it is here. Seems hard to avoid all the traps there where everything never turns out right. Don't you watch as she turns away. It's a choice you can learn to regret someday. Crooked words in your mouth, never meant to say. Thinking that as you lay in her bed at night. Gonna do what's right, baby, now. Really gonna do what's right. With so many insincere, desperate hands that can lead you here. I'll be your friend. I only hear what it is you clearly need to say. So don't try and need her now. Try as hard as you can, boy, to avoid somehow the thing you swore wasn't there and now. It's the only thing that you need to say. And goddamn, you love her anyway. Goddamn, you love her anyway. Ooh, yeah. You know that you love her anyway.
Yeah, there you go. Beautiful. What a great song. I love it. And my wife loves it too. Lana, yeah, to bring Bryan on, I'm going to tell him. Lana just really loved that song too. So I want to read you a little bit of the bio of Bryan. I'm so proud of him. You know, I've had a few students now on the program who have succeeded in the music industry, and it's not easy task to do. And so proud of all of these students, and Bryan's certainly one of them. Bryan Senatore is an Emmy-nominated artist born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He moved to Los Angeles in 1998, where he soon became involved in TV and film. Shortly thereafter, he became a music supervisor composer for the Emmy Award-winning Ellen et Music Group, writing original music for many popular shows on broadcast television as well as cable and film. Bryan has since devoted all of his time to the production and promotion of his own music. All of his material is written, performed, recorded, mixed, mastered, and produced by Bryan in his studio in Santa Monica. Bryan Senatore is an artist who seamlessly blends R&B, soul, and neo-soul with progressive elements, creating a sound that is both familiar and innovative. His musical palette is further enriched by influences drawn from Americana, blues, and rock, showcasing a truly diverse range. Known for his silky smooth vocal delivery, Senatore takes a multi-instrumentalist approach to his craft. He writes, plays, records, and produces all of his material, resulting in rich, layered instrumentation across his work. While rooted in R&B and soul, his versatility shines through his experience composing in many genres for film and TV. This diverse background allows his personal projects to explore various soundscapes. For example, the track 3 Days from Anywhere features a down-tempo feel with prominent guitar accompaniment. A truly collaborative artist, Senatore's work with musicians across the spectrum, from jazz trumpeters to rock musicians, highlights his ability to work across different sounds and genres. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring Bryan Senatore onto the program. There he is.
Hello.
Hi. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. That made me sound really good. Thank you.
You are really good.
Thank you.
It's nice to see you after so many years and get to chat with you.
This is really great. It's great to see you, Vito. And I got to tell you, it's just an honor to be part of it. I've seen a lot of the other episodes that you've done, and everyone's legit. There's some heavy cats, so I'm just glad to be in that group.
Okay, thank you. I'm having fun. Let's put it that way. You know,
Hey, that's what it's about.
I was not ready to throw the baton in quite yet. So, Bryan, let me ask you a question, because I'm not sure that I knew this myself, even having you as a student. When did you begin with music, and what was your first instrument? What was your inspiration to start a musical instrument?
Okay, well, I started really young. I believe there's a picture of me on the organ at about 2 years old that we'll see. It was in my grandparents' house. I can't honestly say that I was really proficient at 1.5 years old, but I enjoyed it, and it was making sounds, and it always seemed to from the earliest that I can remember, music always seemed just to make sense to me. You know, it's almost like a language that, and I'm sure you feel this as well. It's like a language that you sort of inherently already understand, and you just sort of get better at writing it and speaking it and hearing it.
That's well put, really well
Thank
put.
you.
I do have this picture. Let me show this.
Yeah, that's it. That's in Homestead, Pennsylvania, on 4757 Theodore Street. My beloved grandparents.
Wow.
They had a Baldwin organ, and that's it. The dual register.
Yeah.
And I remember, I like you flick it on and you hear the hum, and it had tubes in it. And it got a warm, nice sound and smell. And I had I would sit at that thing for hours when I was a kid.
Is that right? Well, and it looks like it made you very happy because you have quite a smile on your face there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I loved it. Still do.
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And what would you say when when music really became a passion for you? I mean, I know that when you were that age, of course, you loved it. You loved like you said, hearing it and things. But I have a picture. I want to show this picture here.
Oh yeah.
And you're young here too.
Yes, sir.
And what do you think? You're is an early teenager, maybe?
Yeah. No, I'm really lucky to have these pictures because, you know, being as old as we are, a lot of the stuff we did, not everyone like today takes millions of pictures and videos of everything.
Yeah.
But this is a band that I started when I was a teenager and I was still in high school.
Okay.
And it was called, and I didn't know the hippie nomenclature, but we called the band Sativa. I came to later find out that's a strain of marijuana, and I didn't smoke marijuana back then or anything. So, but yeah, we used to play battles of the bands like in Pittsburgh in the Strip District. I remember they had some and stuff, and we used to just sneak in and play. They let us play, and they loved it. And then I'd have to sneak out the back because it was usually a bar, and you know can't have
Yeah.
17, 18-year-olds in bars.
Oh yeah, that was a problem.
Yeah.
So would you say that in your teens, music became a passion for you then at that point?
Yeah, definitely. I
You
mean,
would-
especially having an experience like I did there, that photo you just showed. I mean, that once you get up there and you do, I mean, first, funny enough, the first musical person that was a popular musical person that I really dug was Elvis.
okay.
You know, which was strange for a kid my age. You know, in West Mifflin, you know, kids were into the rock stuff, and I was into it too. But I really dug Elvis, and I remember it was the same thing John Lennon said. He looked at him and he said, "That's a good job." And I thought the same thing. I went, I kind of
Yeah.
like this. I'm kind of good at it a little bit. I like this job. I think I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what it was.
You know, I was never really a big Elvis fan. I mean, I like the music, but I never really, I think because all the ladies just went so gaga over him, you know,
Yeah.
and things. But when I took a trip with my wife and I think my sister and her husband, we took a trip. I can't remember the year. It had to be 15 years ago. And we stopped at Graceland
Oh, you
in
did?
Memphis. Yeah, yeah. When I toured his home, his studio, and saw all that he did, and I mean, it was absolutely, I was amazed. I
Yeah.
was, you know, very, very amazed and impressed. So,
Yeah.
anyhow, yeah, Elvis, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had quite an impact on the whole music industry in the 50s and 60s, that's for sure.
You did. Well, he got my attention.
Yeah, that's good. So let me ask you this: when did after high school? I personally lost contact with you
Right.
until you called me that day. When did you move to Los Angeles? And I think it was in your bio, maybe '98. Does that sound right?
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know. I think that bio just came from Google AI, but it was actually 94 that I moved to LA.
Oh, okay, '94.
Yeah, it was
No,
1994 because I graduated at our school in 90.
okay,
And my father had a business and we sold that business because my parents got divorced and my sisters were off in Chicago going to Northwestern to school. And I was like, I might as well go to LA now. You know, there's not a whole lot for me here as far as opportunities in Pittsburgh at the time,
sure.
and for what I wanted to do anyway. But I distinctly remember, and I wanted to tell this story because everyone's gone now. My parents, unfortunately, have passed, and obviously my grandparents have passed. But I remember my grandmother, that same grandmother that with the organ.
Yeah.
I had told everyone that I wanted to move to Los Angeles and do music, and my grandmother, God love her, she was the sweetest woman on earth. I mean, nothing but love and support all the time. But she said to me, she looked at me, and my grandfather was sitting there, and my dad and my mom were sitting there. I think we're there Sunday for dinner, I think. Um, and I said, yeah, I'm going to do this. And my grandmother goes, honey, do you think you're just going to move to like California, Los Angeles and do music? And I went, yeah, that's about it. That's about the plan. And they thought I was nuts. I mean, they were very encouraging with music and talent and all that stuff. And my grandparents thought I was like a child prodigy or some weird stuff, but they never thought it ended there. You know, they never thought that it could be anything that could be practically done. You know, which obviously incorrect because people do it all the time.
Sure.
So
And it's great that you had that perseverance, you had that motivation to do that,
yeah,
because sometimes, your parents can help you out and say, well, you should do this A, B, or C, but in this case, you knew yourself what you thought you should do and you did it, which is
that's
great.
pretty much it. I mean, I had made my mind up and that was it.
Awesome. So let me show you this picture. I have a lot of pictures to show here on the program, but this picture here,
Yeah.
kind of interesting. And I know you play guitar. Guitar is probably your main instrument. Would you say that?
I would say I'll tell you how I answer that question because I've done a few interviews before, for
Yeah.
different publications and music publications, things like that, and they ask me that question, and I say it's about the difference between how proficient you are writing in pen or writing in pencil. Like the guitar is the pen and the piano say is the pencil. It's
Okay.
it's like that because I really sort of
As the other.
I got into them at the same time.
I see. That's interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. That's good. I'm
Yeah.
glad you explained it. Yeah.
And that picture was kind of important because that was my first time. That was at BB King's in Universal City, which is not there anymore in Los Angeles. But that was about as nervous as I ever got. And I remember I used to put my sunglasses up in my hair to get my hair out of my face.
Yeah.
And I was so nervous that night that I totally forgot to take my sunglasses. They were stuck up in my head the whole time.
So let me ask you this. In your bio, it talks the first before you were, I guess, signed a record deal and you were
Right.
performing and things. You were composing for film and TV, and
Oh, yeah.
you got the
Yeah.
Emmy nomination and things. Tell us about that part of it.
Sure. Yeah, that was actually before the personal recording artist thing. I was working. I had gotten divorced. I'll tell you the whole story as quickly as I can. I had gotten divorced. So from my wife at the time, because we had moved from Pittsburgh to LA together. She wanted to come with me.
Okay.
I got divorced, so I moved into I rented a room in a house in Beverly Hills, and in the guest house in back was a woman named Lisa Raby. She was a producer. She got me in the industry doing PA work,
Okay.
for various TV shows. We worked with America's Most Wanted. We did all kind of stuff for all different stuff on cable. And I had gotten a post-production job at a TV show that was on Channel 13 for one season called House Calls. Now, I was the kind of PA where we got the production offices in Culver City. I went and put together all the desks, including my own desk. It was just, you had to be like a jack of all trades.
Okay.
And they had brought the show from Canada. And we were shooting the pilot and the first season, and they still didn't have a theme to the TV show. It didn't have a theme song. They didn't have an open theme.
Okay.
And they the wonderful woman that it was my boss, Marcia Garcia, she said, well, you do music, why don't you take a crack at writing the theme for the TV show? And I was like, well, okay, yeah, that's great. Let's do it. So she took me to a friend of hers who had a studio, and I recorded like a theme song for it and submitted it and didn't get it, but got down to the last. It was a decision between me and a guy that was an old composer in LA that got all the work. So I lost out to him. But as a result, Marcia put me in touch with Alanette, who I went. So I went and met him when I was on a lunch break one time when I was working at the TV show. I went and met him, and he hired me as a composer.
Wow.
So that's how that got all kicked off.
It's amazing how the networking and just how things just happen, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Serendipitous.
a lot of people say luck is hard work meeting opportunity, but there is an element of the unknown in there,
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I understand. So tell me about this painting. I say painting, but I'm not sure if it's a
No,
painting.
yeah.
It's
So,
almost, yeah, it's a painting.
yeah. So throughout my career, I've seemed always to attract artists, painters.
Okay.
Um, and one of them through music, I had a studio in Venice. I was just starting out recording and, trying to produce myself and produce other people. And my friend Louis, who was my bass player, said, I got this guy, he wants to come over and record. And I said, okay. So this older, Hispanic gentleman, I think he was in his 50s at the time when I met him first. His name was Eloy Torres. He comes over and he's recording this crazy song. And I'm like, who is this guy? What's going on? Well, turns out he's a really famous artist and muralist in Paris, here in Los Angeles, all kind of stuff.
Wow.
So we just became real chummy. And he used to come over to my place and record and spend, 2, 3 days with me. And we just had a lot of fun because he was into the music and it wasn't his main thing. He was obviously a famous painter and muralist. So he did that as another outlet, creative outlet. So he could be free. And it was a lot of fun. And we became really, really close friends. And we still are. I mean, we talk, every week or so. But that's a painting he did of me.
That's
Uh,
amazing. Wow.
yeah, it's supposed to represent a little bit story about my life. It's, I always tell him, I go, hey, and in return, I recorded a song for him called These Colors. But this painting, I always get I always tell him, like, Eloy, you really undressed me on this one because it's really the story about my life. I had a kind of a tough childhood and my mother wasn't so great. So that's supposed to be her in the back giving me the scowl.
Oh,
And then there's the mandolin, which is supposed to represent music. And I'm so open with my heart. And and I guess the woman with the skull is supposed to be bad relationships that almost derail your career because they look real appealing at first, but there's something bad behind it. And
yeah.
that is
Oh, that's amazing. Good. Wow.
that was a really beautiful painting. And
Yeah.
I've done other paintings from we did the John Ritter mural on Hollywood High School. I was the body double for that, and then he also had exhibitions in galleries all across Los Angeles, and he paints people. And I also was a subject of his for the LA Union 300 Union building downtown. They have these multi levels, and each one was supposed to represent time in the workforce in Los Angeles. And he picked me to be the Italian, so I got all dressed up in a thing with my hand, a steel worker.
Yeah.
So it's there. If you go to Los Angeles and you visit the around the city, you'll see paintings of me. So it's crazy.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Tell me about this photo here and this instrument.
Right.
I was going to say a sitar, but it's not.
That is exactly what it is, sir.
Sitar? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's my studio in Santa Monica where I recorded the Christmas album. Well, we'll talk about that later, but yeah, I've always loved the sitar. Just loved it. And I would spend, a couple years every morning. There's a guy named Ashwin Batish, and he plays these things called morning ragas. And a raga, as you know, is a piece for sitar. It's usually like a concerto. It's in a couple movements, usually with tabla accompaniment. And in Topanga, all kind of interesting folk are there. And my good friend Joachim Weisel, he's a German guy who shot some of my videos for me. He had a sitar. And I said, hey, Joachim. And at the time, you couldn't get them on eBay everywhere or Amazon or whatever. You could only get them from India. And he had traveled to India and came back with that thing.
I see.
So he let me use it, and I noodled around with it and eventually figured out how to play it and was recording some stuff there for a recording that I made called Santa Calcutta, because that's where the sitar came from, Calcutta.
Sure.
So that's what that is.
I remember there was a pop artist years ago in the 60s or 70s that used the sitar. I'm trying to think who it is, and I can't remember. You remember, Lenny?
Ravi Shankar?
Yeah. Ravi Shankar, right.
Sitar is really, it's an amazing instrument. It's tuned in a weird way, and you have what are called underneath these sympathetic strings that are hard tuned to different intervals. And it's just a lot of fun. I mean, it's as calming as it is to listen to it when you sit in the middle of a room with that gourd and you just, in the morning, to me, that's like the best way to wake up.
Wow, that's neat. That's really interesting.
Yeah, I miss it. I keep hoping he'll send it to me.
There you go. Just take a ride over to Calcutta and pick one up.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, well, you can get it. You can probably get them on Amazon now.
Probably.
Yeah.
So I want to play at this point. I want to play a video of, and I want you to tell me a little bit about this. It's the song "Love Is on Your Side."
Sure.
So tell us about what we're going to hear, and I'll play that video.
All right. This was a big part of my musical career and development was from the community that I became embraced in a place called Topanga, California. It's sort of like a bohemian artist enclave. It's in between Santa Monica and Malibu.
Uh-huh.
So we're subject to all the time fire hazards, you know what I mean? Like the LA fires and all that stuff, the Malibu fires, we're adjacent to Malibu. So a lot of times Topanga will be under a mandatory evacuation or this or that for fire. And I had this song that I had recorded with my friend Tom Mitchell, who plays a harmonica on this.
Uh-huh.
And one day we were under the mandatory evacuation, but myself and my wife at the time, we couldn't get out of Topanga because they'd already closed the road. There's only one going in. It's Topanga Canyon. So I decided to take the top of a guitar stand, an iPhone, and I put a bud in my ear, and I go, I'm going to go record it because all the streets were closed. So I walk down my driveway and I walk up and down the absolutely closed Topanga Canyon Boulevard, and I dedicated that song to Topanga, saying, "Love is on your side." So if the wildfires, we're all going to make it through. And it came out kind of cool.
Yeah, cool. All right, let me play this. Let's see. I hope this is the right thing here. Let's see.
Ready, Tom?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, it goes from black and white to color once I hit the road. Once I'll come off my driveway.
You can take one single step, walk yourself 1,000 miles, and all the places that you care. I hope you share with every smile. I used to watch her in her sleep, wondering why love had come my way. Your treasures are the ones you keep, babe. They are the ones you give away. Hey, 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 love is on your side, yeah. Love is on your side. Make the devil run and hide, yeah. Ooh, love is on your side. Can get so cold, yeah. Where the fault lies, who's to know? I believe in peace and love. I know we'll all get there, I know, yeah. 'Cause the love is on your side. Don't you know love is on your side. Don't let that get in the way of foolish pride. Love is on your side. I know love is on your side. Love is on your side. Make the devil run and hide. 'Cause I know love is on our side. Every promise I have kept, not one dark secret have I shared. Way to show there's no anger there. A way for you to know, baby, that I care, that I care. Oh, love is on your side, yeah. Love is on your side. Make that devil run and hide. Love is on your side. Take us home, Tommy. She sleep, yeah. Wondering why love had come my way. Your treasures aren't the ones you keep, they are the ones you give away.
Nice. Really nice. Really nice.
Thank you.
Great
I
song.
missed that hat.
And I like your material. I like the songs. They're all solid. I mean, nice. Very nice. Nice material.
Thank you, Vito. That means a lot coming from you, brother.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's so I have a picture I want to show you. This here is, I think, a poster when you were performing at the House of Blues. Right?
Yes, sir.
So this is when, so you actually performed not only, I'm going to show a poster in a minute. This was the House of Blues, but I'm going to show another picture of your tour schedule, which is kind of interesting. But you went on tour, you performed in LA a lot. Did you perform locally a lot? Yeah.
Yeah, I had the again, a little bit of luck, and I hope these guys see that. If not, I'll tell them to watch it, and so they can hear themselves be praised. The greatest promoter, one of the greatest promoters in LA, I had him for 20 years, Surge Event Productions, T-Roy and Kevin and Trent. They had me at the House of Blues all the time. I had a residency at the Viper Room. I when I was home, I gigged weekly on Sunset. It was really, and it was, those guys, I never had to pay to play. It was just really lucked out with good promoters, and they're still friends today.
That's great. That's awesome. And you're right. Just sometimes you make the right connection, and the right people hear you and they like you, and boom, things happen. That's interesting. And tell me a little bit about this photo. This is a studio, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you brought that one. That's my studio in Topanga. That's right off Topanga Canyon Boulevard in what's called the Center.
Okay.
It's like a little place. There's businesses and there's things like that. And that was my first, my only sort of away from home, separate place recording studio. Because usually I just have one in my home. But that one was fun, and I worked. I learned. I got really close with the community in Topanga. Had a lot of people come in. We had a lot of fun recording in there. It was just it was a good time. If anyone knows about Topanga Canyon, it's a magical place.
Is that right? I do not know. I was in LA, several times, but I really don't know much about it. I was there in and out, performing or meetings for different things. And
sure. It's a big place. It's a big place. I spent most of my adult life there. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. What, like 30 years, huh?
Yeah, 30 years. A little, just almost a hair over 30 years.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And I have a couple friends that live there too, and have lived there a long time too. One is a musician. He's actually a business guy. He works for Universal Music Group in Santa Monica, and the other is a chef. And we were friends since high school. He went to West Mifflin South High School when he was
kidding.
He was the executive chef. I'll tell you one quick funny story. Roger Pagozzi, he was the executive chef at the Biltmore in downtown LA.
Right.
They hosted, the Academy Awards dinners. They hosted Grammy dinners there and things.
That's a big venue.
One day, so I was in the 90s and early 2000s, I was a voting member of NARAS, the National Academy of Recording. And so I would get the magazine, and I opened the magazine, and there's a picture of my friend Roger standing there with a couple of musicians in Grammy magazine. And I'm like, he got in a Grammy magazine before I did, and he's a chef. No, anyhow,
Great.
yeah, it's good. Anyhow, so I have a video that I want to play called, this is a song you wrote called Our Scars.
Right.
So can you tell us about this because there's a lot of information on the screen.
Right.
That we're going to be able to read about child abuse and things like that. So give us the genesis of this.
It was just, I'll tell you, y'all are gonna laugh at this, but this is how it happened. Sometimes I like to play little games with myself musically, so I was sitting at home one day, and well, I come from that background, so I know about that firsthand. So it's a very close subject to my heart.
Okay.
So one day I was home and I was scrolling through YouTube, as you scroll up on your phone, YouTube, it shows the title of each video as it scrolls by, what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So the lyrics in that song, some of them in the verses are literally just, I said, I'm going to take every single line of every thing and string them together and see if it makes anything. So that's what I did. And it just sort of, I'd subtract a word here or add a word there, but it's basically just as you would read the titles to YouTube videos going down just in a line.
Wow.
So it ended up, if the music is right and you inflect the words and sing it correctly, you can get a mood across. You can get a sentiment across that seems, rather clever. So that's what happened, and I just decided that the chorus was mine. I love what lies beneath your scars. And it shines as bright as all the stars. Thought that you should know. So that's what happened, and it just it's just those things in a moment. You go, this should be this, and this should be that, and for some reason, I came across. I was reading an article about child abuse, and I came across these statistics, and I thought, what if I just throw them at the bottom?
Yeah.
And it just worked.
It worked. Yeah.
So that was it.
Let me play this for the audience and they'll see it. Okay.
So what about now? With someone just like you? I took it on the running up. If you only knew. Been dancing with the devil. If all that said is true. No taking breaks. As luck walks in. Didn't have a clue. Here we go again. Hallowed be thy name. When I was young and meant to live, I couldn't say the same. I'm hanging by a moment. Wherever you will go, I love what lies beneath your scars. I thought that you should know. I thought that you should know. So sing me hallelujah. I'm unforgiven too. Meeting me across the sky, starting something new. Saving it is crazy when all good legends rise. The sound of madness far away shines into their eyes. And here we go again. Hallowed be thy name. When I was young and meant to live, I couldn't say the same. Hanging by a moment, wherever you will go. I love what lies beneath your scars. Thought that you should know. So sing me hallelujah, I'm unforgiven too. Meeting me across the sky, something I'd never do. Hanging by a moment, wherever you will go. Love what lies beneath your scars shines as bright as all the stars. I thought that you should know.
Wow. Well done, Bryan.
Thank you, sir.
Well done. And I thought that the video with that black and white shadowing, however, whatever you describe that, was just a really great choice for that song too.
Yeah.
Just
Thank
everything came together, and then with all of the information that you provided, you know, really capped it off. I mean, I think it's a wonderful project. You know, it really is.
Thank you, man. You know what? Like I said, coming from that background, music has just been the greatest thing in my life, and it's shown me everything. It's taught me how to live and what's good and what's not good, and it's also a catharsis, and that's what that was for me, for sure. And I'm just really, you know, I've had people message me and say that it meant something to them, or it helped, or they enjoy, you know, in whatever sense. And it's information that needs to be out there because people forget. And so, yeah, I appreciate when anyone enjoys it.
Absolutely. Let's see. I have we're going to change gears a little bit, and that was for me, that was a little bit of a downer in a sense, you know. But
it got a little heavy there.
I want to talk with you about the Safety Harbor Kids Christmas. So let me post a picture up here.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
Tell us about
it. Part of the thing in Topanga is, you know, it's such a beautiful community, but there's a lot of notable artists that live there. You know, I happen to have been listed as one of them on the Wikipedia page. I don't know if it's still up there, but Fred Tackett from Little Feat, the singer from Men at Work, Taylor Hawkins was a friend of mine, the drummer for the Foo Fighters. I mean, they all lived in Topanga. So Fred Tackett, who's in Little Feat, his daughter has a charity called Safety Harbor Kids of Malibu. And I was, and I got to mention this, my dear friend, I don't know if you know who the Barbarian Brothers or remember them. They were sort of a comedy duo. They were bodybuilders. They were twins. David Paul became a dear friend of mine, and he passed away. And he had a party at his, this was when he was still alive. He had a party at his house, and I came and I played. And Petrie, who's the daughter of Fred Tackett from Little Feat, that was her charity. So long story short, I became the music director for that charity. And one year they wanted to do a Christmas album.
Okay.
So I was tasked with it. So I spent the better part of, I think, and it was really quick because they came to me, I think, in October, and they wanted the whole thing done by, you know, to be out like around December 1st. I'm like, that's a lot of work. So I sat for 2 months, you know, in that little corner of my studio with the sitar and just worked my butt off. And I rewrote and arranged just about the whole album, minus a few tracks, and sang on one too. And then that's where I met Jackson Brown, who's in that picture with me and Inara George. That was at Sunset Sound after we had got done.
Is that the picture here?
Yeah, that's at Sunset Sound after we were doing their track, which I rearranged Silver and Gold for them to sing. And we were at Sunset Sound, and back when you come out of the studio in the back, there's like a little courtyard with where people chill and stuff. So we all got a put on Santa hats and got a picture together. You know Jackson Brown, and the girl in the middle is Honora George. That's Lowell George, the singer from Little Feat's daughter. She's also a really great musician. She had a track on the album. Her band's called The Bird and the Bee.
Okay, heard of
Yeah.
it. Yep, that's cool. Very cool.
No, it was great. It was a great experience. We sold a lot of copies of it online, and the old hard copies when they would be in Best Buy. So it was a feather in my cap for sure. And again, to a charity, so wonderful.
Yeah, for sure. And starting in October, usually when you start working on a Christmas project, it's June.
Yeah, tell me about it.
When you're working on it. We did
But it was a challenge.
We started in June,
It was a challenge, and I was like, okay, let's do this.
That's a big challenge. That's a big challenge. Good for you. And for the charity, it's even better. So,
yeah.
So earlier in the program, I mentioned about your tour schedule. I want to put this up there because you're performing everywhere. My goodness. And I didn't even know you were in Pittsburgh on tour. Where do you remember the venue you played in Pittsburgh?
It was the Hard Rock. I think down in the Strip District. Isn't the Hard Rock Cafe in the Strip District, or used to be? Are they closing it now or something?
I think it was in the Strip.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still there or not myself.
I don't know. That was 2014. To be honest with you, there's a couple dates on there we didn't make, or we were like adjacent to it. But yeah, that was a crazy time. I forget who sponsored that tour, but that was a lot of work. I had never been on the road like that before. That was a lot of work.
Oh, really? Yeah, brought a lot of memories back to me because in 2007, when I started working with international artists, and some of my tours were international, like
Excellent.
South Africa and China and everywhere.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then I ended up with the Sicilian Tenors, and they performed solely in the United States, but all over the country. And so again, it was, I don't think we ever had like an actual tour list like that, but we covered all those grounds, one way or another, over a couple of years. It's like kind of recording. I think people glamorize it. They think the layman thinks, oh man, what a cool thing to be in a recording studio, or what a cool thing to be on the road touring. But they have no clue what a tough life and a tough job it is. You know what I'm saying? It really.
Now that you mention that, as a matter of fact, I remember now. We were supposed to do the Hard Rock Cafe, but that one didn't go through because some kind of issue they had. We weren't getting the right money or something. I remember my manager at the time. But yeah, to your point, I mean, it does look great on paper, right? You're in the studio, you're having a great time. You're being creative. Yeah, but it's work. And you get out on the road, and if I'm having a stomach ache, or I'm having a bad day, or it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You just got to get out there and do it with a smile on your face, and you better do it good. You know what I mean?
The line is, there's no business like show business. And, I'll tell you this, Bryan, I had my band, We Three, for 49 years.
Yeah, it's amazing.
In 49 years, I missed 2 consecutive weekends in 1982 because I had lower back surgery. I was in the hospital, and I had to get somebody to go in and sub for me.
No excuse. I'm kidding. It's tough.
That was it. In 49 years,
yeah,
I missed
it's amazing. And I think I missed. I think probably in my time too. I can count on one hand, no thumb, the shows that I might have missed.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
When people hire you, they expect to see you on stage. They want to see you on stage.
Yeah.
This is what they're asking. This is what they want.
Yeah.
You have to be there. So naturally, in 49 years, only missing two gigs. Not like the teaching job. Teaching, you get 10 sick days a year. You get 2 emergency days, whatever. It's a different deal. And anyhow, go ahead. You tell me what you thought.
Oh, no. I'll just agree with everything you said and add that. Plus, you have the dynamic of. In my case, it was usually a 3-piece or 2 other musicians or 3 other musicians plus me. You got 2 or 3 different personalities that you have to get in line with you every night. You know, you got it's like a family, but you're the dad, and you have these kids, and each one's got their own personality, and they each need a certain thing so that they'll do what they're supposed to do. You know,
I
uh,
could, yeah, yeah, no,
and at the end of the day, like it's my name on the marquee. So if we go there and play a bad show, yeah, you guys can fluff it off and get back on the bus and go, but they're going to remember it was my name that was bad. You know,
sure.
so
That's
there's
right.
all kind of stuff that goes with it. I'll tell you a funny story. I had the pleasure of, and I'm still friends with him, Victor Orlando, who was the conga player for Shaka Khan, uh,
Okay.
on all the recordings, you know, in the '70s and stuff. And he's in, you know, he used to play the House of Blues with me all the time. He was great. He'd get the crowd going. But he told me a story when he was on the road with Shaka Khan that he was sick with the flu, and all they did was stick a trash can next to his congas. So he'd play like this and
Yeah.
get back up and keep playing. And that's how it is, you know.
You know, you think about it, in 49 years, you know, I went on stage with the flu, with the cold, with, you know, everything that, you know,
The
it's,
odds that you wouldn't have done that are probably slim to none. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, you know, I'm sure you've done way more live performances than I have, but yeah, that's it. I mean, the show must go on, as they say.
I have a few more pictures of you on the road. I'd like to, this is
Sure.
actually performing. Maybe you
That,
remember where this was or
that
whatever.
was great. That was at 118 West Studios. The gentleman that I am graced to be on stage with are Adam Curry. He's from a band called Candlebox. They were kind of big in the '90s. The bass player, and my dearest friend Stephen Quadros is the drummer. He was a staple. He played with he was just a staple in the '80s and '90s on Sunset when like Quiet Riot and all the '80s bands were playing and everything. So, you know, I just always been lucky to have been backed up by really quality good guys. That was a fun show.
That's important too, yeah. And then I have this picture. That's
Yeah.
outdoor. Was that outdoors or is that just a set?
No, that's across the street from Pepperdine University off PCH. That was the Malibu concert by the sea.
Okay.
That
Oh,
was a lot of fun.
yeah. Okay. Different musicians with you there too?
Yeah, that was that they were the first group that played with me. Louis Bando, who was the guy that introduced me to the painter to bring over to my place to record, Eloy, and Doug Smith was the drummer.
Okay. And then this picture here. Tell me about this group. Who
Okay.
was
So this was fun. I don't know if you remember, it was a big thing for a while where people would do these like Iron Man or these obstacle courses, you know what I mean? They'd sign up to do them.
Sure.
Remember stuff like that?
Yeah.
Well, this one, it was one of the guys from American Gladiator, and he decided to do his own version of like a Gladiator run, and he called it the Gladiator Rock and Run. And his deal was you run this obstacle course and whatever, but at the end there's a band playing and you could have drinks and eat food and all that stuff. So we did a West Coast tour, and it was called the Gladiator Rock and Run, and we were the only band, and we would have to play for 4 hours during every one because they would do the obstacle courses in shifts. So the first group of people would come through the obstacle course, and they come out, we'd play for an hour. Then the 4 of them, and that is special because they gave me one of the medals for having completed the course, even though I never ran the course. They said, "Trust me, you're a gladiator. You were on stage doing the shows for 4 hours." And that was at the Rose Bowl. That was where we ended that. So I can say I got to play the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, that's great. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. How about this picture here? This is a collage of different, are these all album covers or?
Those are all my album covers. Yes. Well, not all of them, but most of them. I think I have 18 albums that I recorded. That's 16 of them.
Okay. Wow.
And I just wanted to see them all together in one spot. So someone put them together for me like that. And
That's great. Love it.
yeah,
Love it. Yeah. You did a lot of recording.
I did a lot. I had a spurt, I had a spurt. Well, when you have your own studio at home and this is all you do, I like to stay busy. So
Sure.
I'd usually record until I thought it wasn't good, or record until, just I was out of ideas.
Well, it's interesting, but the creative process it's its own wonder,
Yeah, it is. It's different for everybody.
Yeah. and everybody deals with the off moments, I'd say, and the on moment differently,
Yeah.
But it happens, how many, like, just go to the one hit wonders, how many of those there were, in the world.
And kudos to them for that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hard enough.
Once. At least they got there once, right?
They did.
So I have a photo. This is a Winter Wonderland concert. Let me see if I can find this right here.
Yeah.
Tell me about this.
So that was the last show I did in LA. It was broadcast on KTLA 5, it's Channel 5 in LA. And it was just a big show they do on Hollywood Boulevard. So they came and asked me to do it, and instead of my band, I have I can't recall the percussion player behind me, but he and I were the only musicians. The guy to the left of me was named Tony. He owned a surf shop, and I used to go mess around with him at the surf shop in Malibu, and we play guitar. So I invited him to come. And the other guy to my right is Jason Lassen. We were together in television a long time ago. And that was a fun show. And they presented me with a couple awards, surprised me with a couple awards at the end of that show, which I think you have the pictures of.
Yeah, actually, let me show those.
Yeah.
There's right here.
Yeah, once from the
California Senate.
California Senate, and the other was from the California State Assembly. And they really I wasn't expecting any kind of awards or anything like that when I got done with my set. I got done playing, and this guy comes up with the microphone like a TV show host, and they got the big TV camera, and he goes, "Wait, we have something for you." I'm like, "Okay, thank you. This is great." And he goes, "No, wait, we have another one." And he goes and gets it. So it was cool. I'm proud of him. I love California, and the fact that I could go there and make a positive contribution.
Yeah, congratulations on that. That's wonderful. That's good. That's quite the accomplishment there. Now, Bryan, I have a video that I'd like to show at this point. It's called "In the Lovely Dark." Do you want to tell us about that?
Oh, yeah, okay. So I had rented a house in Topanga, and a beautiful house. But the part of it, the owner of the house was doing renovations on it.
Okay.
So I had written a song. Let me back it up a second. So I had a recording studio there. It was great. I recorded almost all of those albums that you saw in that previous collage were recorded, in that space in Topanga. Well, they were doing renovations on the house, and I mean, they had scaffolding around the house and the whole deal. Well, one day during recording, I'd just gotten the recording done of this song called "The Lovely Dark" because they had to cut some of the power. So most of my lights were out. So I'm like, I'm just going to sing a song about how cool it is to be in the dark. So then when I got done with recording it, I said, well, shoot, it's kind of dark and the moon's shining and it's kind of cool. I'm going to just record a video of myself singing how cool it is in the dark, being in the dark. So that's what it was.
That's great. All right, let me show this video.
Yeah.
One good stretch and those wings will fly. One chance left and it's a chance to say goodbye. It's all a matter of the truth, so no chance it screams out loud. Mama's going through the roof right now, but you know your daddy's proud. So it's one step forward. Don't you hurry now, that it's two steps. Don't you when you can take a bow. 3 steps getting close to you, and hope my arrows find their mark. Go ahead, baby, blow those candles out. It's so lovely in the dark. So lovely in the dark.
That's great. Well, it's makes it so much more meaningful to hear the story behind it, right? The genesis
Yeah.
of, and it's really a lesson in seize the moment, right?
Yeah,
You,
it was about the moment. And
yeah,
there's always a duality to it. Like obviously the sentiment was, it's okay to be in the dark. It's okay not to see things. It's okay. It's lovely here sometimes. If you're
yeah,
cool with yourself and you're cool with everything, it doesn't matter if it's dark right now.
yeah, yeah. That's very nice, very nice, very creative guy you are. You know that.
No, thank you, sir. I got to
Yeah,
tell you one quick story about that song, and because I'm trying to mention all the people that the beautiful musicians that I've had the honor of working with and have lost. The guy that did the guitar solo on that song, his name was Todd Traeger. He was a lovely guy. Always was there when I called him up to do some work, and I remember, and people want to go back and they can listen to it. They'll hear it in the guitar solo part. He recorded one solo, and I said, "All right, that's good. Let's do a second pass." And he recorded a second one. And just on a whim, I said, "What if I leave them just in there, just both of them at the same time?" And he was such a good player, session player, that his differences each time were subtle. So when you play the two solos together in the same way at the same time as I left them in the song, it almost sounds like an intentional delay ping pong thing going on. But it was totally, we just threw both of his takes on at the same time.
wow.
Sometimes you know how stuff like that happens. Sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course. That's great. Uh, I have. I think this is an album cover here. I want to show this here.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, that's I think it's going to be my last album
that's
that
the
I
last
put out.
album you did. Okay.
Uh,
What year would you have done that, Bryan?
this was right before I left LA, so this was like couple years ago,
Okay.
2-3 years ago, maybe a little bit longer. I've sat on the songs, but I had them already. That'd be the last batch of songs that I recorded before I left Los Angeles. And that's why the cover is me sitting on a rooftop looking out and over the actual skyline. I went out with a dear friend of mine. She also passed away, and we went to an after hours club. And afterwards, she took me to the roof, and it was just cool to see LA. And she took that picture of me, so I thought that was kind of nice.
Very nice. Yeah. You just needed a fiddle. You could have been Fiddler on the Roof.
Yeah,
Now, the name of the album, is it 10? Is that the name?
yeah,
Of the album? 10. Is that because there are 10 tracks on the album?
that's it.
Yeah. That's okay. All right. Very interesting. Okay. And then,
Yeah,
okay, I have another picture. I have to show this because this is really cool. So
yeah.
you play the cello too.
I play the cello. Well, I make cello noises. Yeah,
Um,
yeah. If on a good day, maybe. Uh, so
what got
that's New
you
York
involved
City.
in cello? Yeah. What's inspired you to start that?
Well, I don't want to come off flippant when I say this. I love every instrument that I play well. Piano I got, guitar I got, bass to some degree in that extent, but I wanted something that I wasn't good at. And I've always loved the cello, and I always thought that'll be like my forever instrument. Like I can learn on that and continue to learn on that. It'll have things to show me. I'll expire before it's over showing me the things it wants to show me. So I decided that I'm going to take up the cello because I love it. And my daughter, who I have to mention, Tia Viviano, who got her own band in Australia, Cosmica. Love you, sweetheart. Told you Daddy would mention you. We met in New York City with her mom and Liz, my partner. So we went back a couple weeks later, and I brought the cello with me, and I said, "What the heck? Let's, Times Square. It's pretty safe now." So we at 3 a.m. decided to go down and do an impromptu guerrilla photo shoot with the cello in Times Square.
That's neat. That's really cool.
Yeah,
And
there was a funny story. We're shooting it, right, and I had been walking around Times Square in Manhattan a couple of days before because I know the city pretty well. And
yeah,
I came back to the hotel. We stayed at the Sheraton in Times Square, and I said, "Honey," I said, "I found the perfect spot to do these shots if you want to do them." She's like, "Yeah." Well, we fell asleep that night, and I woke up and I'm like, "Oh, it's like 3 a.m. Oh, we can't do it now." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, it's the city that never sleeps. Let's grab the cello. Let's go down to Times Square." So we did it, and as we're walking, of course, I'm thinking you're going to run into some characters, right?
sure.
Everything's fine. I'm sitting there with the cello. She's taking the pictures of me. She's like laying down, taking the pictures of me. And here comes this guy, you know, this obviously homeless guy or whatever. And he's like, "Hey, cello, man, play it." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, okay, brother, thanks." He goes, "No, play it." I'm like, "I will, brother, right now." He goes, "Play the cello." And I go, "Okay, honey, it's time to go." We packed up the thing. We got out of there.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, but that's a great picture. She's a great photographer.
And that's your daughter. Your daughter's in Australia, did you say?
Daughter's in Australia because her mom's Australian.
Okay.
I met her in LA when she was doing some she was a model. She was doing something for the Olympics when the Olympics I can't remember. That was years ago, but yeah, so we had a little thing, and then she moved back to Australia and she had our daughter, who's just amazing. And I have an amazing son too, Christian Frank, and my daughter Tia Viviano, just really great. Really great. Really a blessing, as you know.
Good for you. Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's great. And I got to tell you, to me, now that I'm much older than you, but the greatest chapter in life is when you have grandchildren. So
I'm waiting. I told my son, I said,
You'll
yeah,
get
I said, anytime you're ready.
you'll get to it, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a really cool picture. Thanks for sharing that.
Oh, thanks for putting it up.
So I have one more video that I wanna show. And actually, at the beginning of this video, there is I think I asked you about this, and the girl that's in there, she was a model too, and that
Yeah,
was
Sabrina Zarahi. I met her at a show I was doing at a place called the Good Hurt in Santa Monica, and I was going to send you the picture of it, but I didn't. There's all me and a bunch of models on a red carpet, you know, getting the photo taken, and she happened to be one of them. And I just started talking to her. I liked her, and she liked me, so we had a little thing. And then I asked her to be in a video, and I wrote the song for her, so it was kind of sweet.
cool. All right, well, let me play this, and then if you have anything after this you want to share, stories, whatever, let me know. We'll still have a minute. All right.
All right.
Video.
I can't say it's been forever since the last time I surrendered. I lost this war and all the battles in between. Now you're standing
Oh
there
yeah.
before
Well,
me
this is the montage.
like a still unwritten story. A chance to be the best I've ever seen. You know what I mean? Backyard beauty queen. Well, it used to be so easy. Little took to please me. All that change is not so simple anymore. There's no time to push and fair. Let it all go straight to hell. Fixed or broken, I can't tell. Guys I've never seen. The backyard beauty queen. I really need to know. Do you feel that way down deep inside, or it's just for show? There's a candle burning at both ends, and to leave a glow always twice as bright. Don't you know? These things tend to be forgotten when our heart's been spun about. Bitterness is all that's left to show.
Here you go.
Ah,
Nice.
it's the montage.
Hey, the montage. Yeah. Yeah. Lots
Yeah,
of
that was cool.
Yeah. Very cool. And that song. When would you have written that particular song?
Oh my gosh, that song was written 2007 maybe.
Oh wow. Okay.
2000 I've had the luck maybe of having written stuff that doesn't seem too dated, so it's hard for me even to place when it is. But I'd say around 2007, 2008. Yeah, around there, maybe sooner. Yeah.
Okay.
So that
Huh.
was cool. That was
Yeah.
cool to see all that stuff. And the guy at the end giving me the handshake at the end, that was the promoter of that particular show.
Oh,
He
oh,
felt the need to come up and rush the stage and let me know he enjoyed that.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
To have a good relationship with the promoters too.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, and as well as I do, maybe even definitely better. What's the first thing you do when you get to a gig? You go and ingratiate yourself to the sound guy
Yeah.
because he'll either make your show or he'll destroy you that night.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's
And
for sure.
promoters fall under the same heading to me,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. You learned the business. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Well, Bryan, it's been great having you on the program. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your talent. Your creativity is amazing. You've had a wonderful career. Let me just ask you one more question. Where do you go from here? So, I think the last time we spoke, you were at the moment, anyways, in Philadelphia. Is that right?
I am here in my studio in Philadelphia. Got the
Okay.
cello back there and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I'm here in Philadelphia. The next step, I don't know. I've been entertaining a little bit. There's a company called Odyssey. They're like the major broadcaster on multi-platforms. I've been talking with them, maybe doing a little producing for them or some stuff with sound with them. But as of right now, I'm just, getting through another chapter in life, trying to discover what this chapter's about.
Yeah.
And I put together my studio so that hopefully, if I get inspired to do anything, I have a way to grab it.
There you go. And I'm sure you will. And I wish you all the best, really. And stay in touch with me too. Yeah.
Tito, I can't again thank you so much for this. This has really meant a lot to me. I'm honored to even that you would to be here to do this, and I thank you so much, and thank you for your contributions to my musical life. You were like a father to me in that regard, and I love you and appreciate you. And I have one question: who's going to interview you?
That's a good question. I had a girl on the program, Lisa Ferraro. She's a wonderful jazz singer.
I think I saw a little bit of hers. Yeah.
Yeah, Lisa. She said to me. That's what she said to me. She said, "Vito, why don't you let me interview you one day?" I said,
"Well, tell her if she wants to get to do a collaborative. We should get everyone that you interviewed together to interview you because
yeah,
your story is for sure worth people knowing."
3 minutes, and it's all over.
Get out of town. The 3 minutes just to introduce you.
All right, Bryan. It's been great seeing you again. Honest to God, it's just wonderful, and I wish you all the best. Really.
Thank you, Vito. You too, man. You look great. You sound great. We'll stay in touch.
Yes. Thank you. All right. You take care.
Thank you, sir. You have a good one.
You too. Thank you. And there you go. Another episode of Memories of a Musician with Bryan Senatore. What a talented young man. And I was so proud of him and honored that I had maybe this much to do with his musical upbringing, so to speak. Looking ahead, be sure to tune in next Wednesday, January 28th, for a special edition of Memories of a Musician featuring my guest, Filippo Voltaggio. Filippo, by the way, is another, I believe he resides in Los Angeles too. Filippo and I share a long history of performing together at Italian festivals across the country, building lasting friendships and alongside many other talented entertainers in that circuit. A multifaceted professional, Filippo is an accomplished author, speaker, life coach, and broadcast host. He seamlessly integrates his extensive experience across film, television, and live performance into a mission of service. Whether through his music, writing, or coaching, Filippo leverages his diverse talents to create transformative experiences for audiences and individuals alike. The program will be broadcast live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time You can stream the episode on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Filippo Voltaggio live on Memories of a Musician on Wednesday, January 28th. Thank you, and have a great evening.